Hiya.
Hello! So our next video in this sort of coronavirus series, whatever you want to call it, is going to be discussing how we've been finding it, new things that we've been trying, and any tips that we would like to share for getting through this weird time. Coronavirus is, by the definition of a pandemic, it's a global experience. And so it's normal for everyone to be finding it difficult. We're all having to deal with unprecedented change to our daily lives.
But for those with mental health illnesses, this change of routine and lack of routine may be even harder to deal with.
We live in a world where there is a constant pressure to be on the go, to be trying new things, to be using your time to the maximum. And bizarrely, in this crisis that we find ourselves in, that has never been more true. You have an abundance of time. Many people who are in the workplace have been furloughed and find all of this, expansive spare time on their hands. We're waiting to find out what's going on at university. We've got all of these hours in the day and you feel like you should be doing something with them. But I think that there is a fine line to be found between taking up lots of new hobbies and not looking after yourself.
We thought it might be handy to share with you guys what we've been getting up to in our isolation time and how we've been trying to find that very tricky balance.
I've been doing a bit of yoga. I would strongly recommend it to help you relax. I've also been trying to keep in touch with friends. After all, it's a difficult time for everyone, so we may as well get through this together.
I've definitely been doing a lot more reading since being in isolation, and so I definitely recommend finding a good book because it can really take your mind off things.
Things that I have done to fill my time include making my own set of bananagrams, which is a bit like Scrabble, doing some drawings.
I've been doing some flower pressing, so on my daily walk I've been trying to collect some flowers that I can use for that.
I find that talking to my friends really lifts my spirits, so I've been Skyping friends and having little lunch dates over Skype, and just talking about things we want to do when the quarantine's over.
I've also decided that I want to practice my Spanish, and so I'm using Duolingo and Babbel for this. I did Spanish GCSE, and so I'm trying to pick it up from there, and I'm making sure that I only do it when I want to do it, so I don't do it because I feel like I need to do it.
The time that I do spend online, I think I'm trying to curb exactly what type of consumption I'm having. So if I'm on Twitter, for example, it's for a bit of relief against what Radio 4 is putting out every day. On Instagram, I don't follow anybody who is constantly posting, like gym selfies and stuff like that. And similarly, I have muted anyone who I generally like the posts of, or friends even, but who, now that we're in self-isolation, have started posting workout videos on their stories or to their timelines. I've just blocked that out because it's not helpful to me. If it's not helpful to you, consider having a cull of who you follow and just erasing anything that's unhelpful from your feed. It'll make you feel so much better. It seems that everyone is trying this out in self-isolation, but I've always wanted to do it. So this is my sourdough starter, and I made my first loaf yesterday. I've started lino printing, which, as you can see, I'm not great at yet. I customised a coat by adding some fluffy cuffs to it.
I've made a list of places that I want to go after this is over and been looking up how I could get there, things like that.
I think if you feel like you can and you're up to it, then volunteering is a really great thing to do with your time and you feel like you're helping others. The NHS are currently looking for volunteers to help vulnerable people. This can be something from giving someone a phone call to check they're okay, picking up some shopping for them, dropping off their prescription. There's a whole range of things, and if you look on the website, then you can sign up to whichever jobs you feel you might be able to do. If you don't feel like you're able to volunteer, you might just want to call round some of your family members. So I've been ringing my granny every other day, whereas normally that's not something I'd always have time to do. And it's really nice to have a little chat with her, and we chat about all things coronavirus related and not coronavirus related, more importantly.
I have, of course, been baking a lot. Here's some sourdough and some pasta that I made yesterday. And I've also been spending a lot of quality time with pets.
Try to remember it's okay not to be doing home workouts all the time, like might seem what everyone's doing on Instagram. And if you find accounts like that triggering, then try and unfollow them and just do your best to ignore them.
So one thing that I decided to do was, inspired by Marie Kondo, have a bit of a Marie Kondo of my wardrobe. So I've gone through and filled 2 big bags to go to the charity shop when things calm down a bit, and I've folded everything in all of my drawers so that it stands upright, and it is a really satisfying way to start the day, to look at all of my lovely folded clothes. Going through my wardrobes, I also found a load of things that I completely forgot that I even had. And that made me feel like I'd been shopping because I suddenly had all of these new things. And so in a time where maybe going shopping helps you to feel a bit better about things, then maybe you could re-find some things that you've lost. Or you could do what Ileana's doing and you could upcycle some things. I just don't have the creativity to do that.
If you're someone like me who always wants to find things to be filling their time with and constantly feels like they have to be on the go, something that I would really recommend is just examining what motivation lies behind trying all of these new things. Because I've been trying a lot of new things, but I have also been trying to examine whether or not I'm really doing them for myself because I want to, or because I feel like I should be using my new abundance of time productively. And I think the moment when you know that that's becoming problematic is when you start feeling guilty for not having done as much as these new hobbies as you feel you should be, and that's when you know that you need to stop. So something that I have noticed on social media is, especially from the people that I follow, a lot of people sort of rejecting this pressure to be constantly learning new things on the go, doing workout videos from home, etc. Because really, if all you've done that day is got up, brushed your teeth and had regular meals, maybe got dressed, you're still doing great.
Your worth is not measured by your productivity.
Since eating disorders thrive on secrecy, the situation that we have with self-isolating in the UK unfortunately compounds the manifestation of eating disorder behaviours. For example, scarcity in the supermarkets may freak you out and make you seek to control your food further. People have been talking about how they feel guilty for buying food when they feel that there are other people that need it more, key workers need it more than them, blah blah. And so they leave the supermarket with nothing. You're allowed to go out to exercise once a day. Maybe if you're used to doing more than that, it means that your exercise routine is becoming increasingly personal and secretive. There is just a multitude of ways in which the situation that we find ourselves in means that an eating disorder could just sink its teeth further into you.
So please remember to check in with those around you.
And of course, the most important thing in all of this is not whether you drew a nice picture or you've got really good at Sudoku or you knitted a pair of gloves, whether you kept on top of your work or whether you joined a load of house party calls to keep in touch with your friends. The main thing here is still your health, and if you're in it, your recovery. And where you can, you need to be leaning on the supports that you have to be continuing with that progression for as many weeks, months as this lockdown continues for.
So what are you appreciating right now?
So lucky though to not be living in a city right now. I'm just walking back from the beach along the fields and the sun is setting over there and it's so pretty.
So I've been spending lots more time with my dog. This is Poppy, and she's definitely enjoying having people at home a lot more of the day.
Isolation has given me a greater appreciation for my friends and family and for the time that I'm able to spend with them.
Thank you so much to all the NHS staff for everything they do to keep us safe. And remember, you can do your part to help by staying inside whenever possible.
And a massive thank you to all of the final year medical students who are being thrown in a little bit at the deep end in the middle of this pandemic, and lots of you have had to give up your electives in order to do so. We know this probably isn't how you plan to start your medical career, but what you're doing is really amazing.
Please stay at home. I know it can be difficult, but it goes a long way in supporting the NHS and protecting the vulnerable population.
We hope this has been a useful video for you. Why not help us create a community by letting us know in the comments down below what you've been getting up to in your isolation time. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Remember, physical distancing isn't social isolation. Stay in touch with each other, look out for one another.